we've actually kind of like synthesized that down to just 20 core questions, where if you cover your bases with these 20 questions, all the questions that you're going to get in a behavioral interview are probably just variations of these 20 questions. Hey guys, after you watch this video, if you feel like you learned something from it, I want you to do us a favor and click the subscribe button below the video and like the video as well, because what that's going to do is it's going to allow us to make sure that you get all of the future videos that we put out on this channel. Okay, we're going to be putting out multiple videos on this channel on all things investment banking recruiting related, so it's just going to help you out and help us out. So with that said, today I want to talk about the four steps to acing investment banking behavioral interviews. Okay, it's very simple. There's 4 things you have to do, and most people don't do all 4 of these things, or they don't do them the right way. So let's just dive into what they are. First thing is you have to know what questions to expect. Okay, so typically in Wall Street Mastermind, the way we do this for our clients is we have all of our clients actually tell us what questions they got in each of their interviews with what firm. Right, and then basically we have this institutional knowledge of what type of questions that all of these banks are asking across their interviews, and we can do the pattern recognition around, hey, these are the questions that always get asked over and over and over again, right? Or, oh wow, this is a curveball question that doesn't happen that much, but we should probably still have an answer prepared for it just in case, right? So that way, having helped over 250 clients at this point, like we've pretty much seen every single question that you could possibly get asked, right? And in fact, we've actually kind of like synthesized that down to just 20 core questions, where if you cover your bases with these 20 questions, all the questions that you're going to get in a behavioral interview are probably just variations of these 20 questions. Okay, so that's the first step. Second step, once you know that, is you have to know what the investment bankers are actually looking for in each of these questions. Okay, like with the behavioral questions, they're so seemingly subjective, right? But it's actually not that subjective, because each of these questions, they're looking for certain qualities and certain traits, right? And so a lot of people, where they get into trouble is they just answer the question, but because they don't really know what exactly the bankers are looking for or what they want to hear, the answers that they come up with might not align with what the bankers actually want to hear, right? And so if you do that, then what sounds like a good answer to you will actually not sound good to the banker, and at the end of the day, it's the banker's opinion that matters, right? Not your own opinion. So the way we do this is, again, we've taken all of the answers that our clients have used in their interviews, because we worked on these answers with them, and so we see kind of like what answers they're using, and then we also know which client got offers from which banks, right? So what we did was we took all the clients that got into the best banks, the best bulge bracket and best elite boutique banks, and we put all of their answers side by side, and then we did pattern recognition again and looked for the commonalities between these answers, and that helped us identify, okay, these things tend to work, bankers like to see these things in this order and whatever it may be, and then we organize those commonalities into frameworks. Okay, frameworks that are kind of like formulas that then everyone else can take and then implement into their own answers, and that way that we make sure that they have what the bankers want to hear, right? So that's the second thing. You don't want to guess on this part, or else you're not gonna end up with very good answers. Okay. The third thing is you need to know how your answers stack up against your competitions, because most people, the mistake they make on the behavioral side is they come up with their own answers and they just practice it, they rehearse it, and then they hope that's good enough, right? And then they go in with these answers, and then sometimes it's good enough, sometimes it's not, right? What you need to know is, like, how good are your answers relative to your competition's answers? Because there's no right or wrong answers in behaviorals. There's only better and worse answers, right? So you can't just look at your own answers in isolation, right? And so the way we do this is we actually have mock interview recordings from some of our most successful clients. In fact, one client who got 100% success rate with passing interviews with all the bulge bracket and elite boutique banks, we have a mock interview with him so that all of our other clients can hear exactly how someone like him interviews. And that's like the gold standard, basically, right? So you can kind of compare yourself to him, right? And so that's the third thing. And then the last thing is, once you know where you are relative to the gold standard, you want to try to get as close to that as possible. So if there's something that you're doing that's not quite good enough, but you can't figure out what it is, You need to get detailed and specific feedback from a credible source, ideally an investment banker. And by detailed and specific, I mean literally telling you down to like what sentences you need to change and how to change it and the phrasing and the wording of everything. Okay, so that's the last thing that we do with our clients is we actually help them rewrite all of the answers, because you're not going to be able to figure that stuff out on your own. You need someone else to do it for you. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for more customized advice that's tailored for your specific situation, then I invite you to book a free strategy session with our team at the link below. We'll talk to you soon.